Okay, we're back and we're continuing to look at the birth months and the image numbers to see if there is some sort of a match with the verse. See if we can pinpoint a location in the verse that is important based on these numbers. And so we finished up with Charleston, so we'll continue with Roanoke Island, which is verse 11, and it's January, and it's image 3. So let's take a look at verse 11, and we're using the 1 and 3. Okay, so the 1 would put us at the first line, past two friends of octave. If we looked at the next three lines, we got in December, ride the man of Oz to the land near the window. In December doesn't seem like it holds much there as far as telling us where to be at, so let's go the 3 within the 1. So the third line is ride the man of Oz. Well, the next line is to the land near the window. What I kind of found interesting about that is the word to. Once again, that could be a line or a word used specifically to take us to a spot, and maybe he's using this again as a way to show us the spot early, and then we have an entire path where then he circles back around and gives us information at the end. So we use this information down here to go back up into here where to the land near the window that gives us the pinpoint of the spot. So this line could be very important if we just discount it as something. I'm not terribly familiar with this verse, so if anybody is using or trying to solve this one and this makes sense in your solution, then maybe make a comment and let me know how that works for you. Okay, going down to St. Augustine, we have verse 9, and we're using September, and we're using image 6. So a 9 and a 6 on verse 9. So here we got the verse, and we're going to go down 6 lines, and it brings us to line 7, which is at the base of a tall tree. And from the solutions that I've seen posted, this seems to be where people are focusing their attention on digging, and that seems to make a lot of sense. We do have 9 lines from that point, so if the 6 and the 9 are working together there, then that definitely could be the spot. If this is line 9 here and we look at the next one, it could be stars move by day. So maybe the dig spot is actually down here next to the planetarium that's there. It's just some things to think about. I'm not saying either that this is correct, but if this is a way for us to pinpoint the important line, maybe we've just been looking at it wrong. Okay, New Orleans is verse 2. And we're using December, which is 12, and image 7. So verse 2 with a 12 and a 7. So in this one, the poem is very short, and we got some big numbers here. So if we go down 7, 4, 6, 7, so you got the line 7 is fills the afternoon hours. So the next line is here is a sovereign people. And there's obviously not 12 lines after this, so maybe he's using it as just a 1 and a 2. So if we took here's a sovereign people as the 1, and then the next 2 lines, who builds palaces to shelter their heads for a night. So maybe he's using a 12 as a 3 with 1 plus 2. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not familiar with this verse as well. The New Orleans people, does this make sense? That maybe this is the focus of where you guys have been digging? I'm not really sure. Once again, let me know in the comments if this is a potential possibility. Going into Houston, we got verse 1, and we're using July, which is 7, and the image 8. So a 7 and an 8 for verse 1. And so we'll go down right here, 2, 4, 6, 7. Puts us on line 8, which is no lion fears. If we use 8, I think it works a little bit better, because then the next 7 lines would be in the sky the water veers, small of scale, step across, perspective should not be lost, in the center of 4 alike, small, split, 3-winged and slight. And that to me seems like that could be where the marker was taking us. In the center of 4 alike could be the spot, but you needed to have all of these to figure out what that was. And I know that with the Children's Museum being one of the areas that this was maybe thought to be within Herman Park, that that could be lost and no longer viable. But if that kind of works, as the people that know Houston really well, if that kind of works within your theory, let me know in the comments as well. The last one is Montreal, and that's verse 5, and we'll take a look at October and image 9. So a 9 and a 10 in verse 5. And so if we go down 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, born of ancient dreams of flight is the next one. If we take that as line 10, then the next line is beneath the only standing member, which that seems to be the focus for me. So if we go down 10 lines, and then the next part of the verse is only 8 lines, but he gave us a number 9, so it's basically taken us all the way through the rest of that. So beneath the only standing member of a forest to the south, white stone closest at 12 paces from the west side, get permission to dig out. So I mean, once again, this looks like it's kind of working here. So if we go down 10 and look at the rest, that kind of focuses our attention on where we need to be for that verse. The last two that we haven't covered are Milwaukee and New York. And actually what I'm going to do is, on the next video, I'm going to show, since I have a solution for Milwaukee and a solution for New York, I'm actually going to take a look at this theory, and I'm going to apply it directly to my solutions and see if it works as a possible confirmation for the solutions that I have. Okay, stick around.